These are vegans who've decided to protest against people that slaughter animals, and they've decided to do it in I don't know what to say. Maybe subscribe to the channel and thumbs up on the video.
I came face to face with the very farmer who gave me a massive wedgie at the Royal Show last year. And I didn't even know it. Last year, I went inside the cattle judging ring at the Royal Show, and a farmer grabbed me from the back of my shirt and the back of my shorts, literally lifting me up and giving me a massive wedgie before throwing me around and pinning me up against the fence. This man was furious and violently assaulted me, causing bruising all around my groinal region from the way he lifted my pants up. Yesterday, I returned to the very same cattle judging ring and proceeded to do another protest, this time locking myself with handcuffs to the fence line so no one could remove me this time. About 5 minutes into the protest, this farmer approached me from the outside of the area and began to tell me how shameful and embarrassing I was to my family and to the country. I didn't even realize this was the very same man who assaulted me last year in that very cattle ring. Despite him trying to engage with me and tell me how shameful I was, I continued to speak up for non-human animals and proceeded to ignore the man. And shortly after, he decided to tell me that he had better things to do and left. This man was comfortable assaulting a young woman in front of families, including children. And what's even worse is that this man was not charged for assaulting me, and he's allowed to continue subjecting animals to torture, abuse, and murder. As a result of yesterday's protest, I was arrested and charged for disorderly conduct and trespass. The reason was because I continued to speak up about the atrocities that non-human animals are subjected to. Meanwhile, this man was not charged for assaulting me, and he was not charged for telling me how shameful and embarrassing I was. Animal rights activists will continue to be prosecuted with heavy penalties for exposing animal abuse and speaking up about the animal holocaust. Meanwhile, the perpetrators and the animal abusers remain protected by the system. This will never deter myself and other animal rights activists from speaking up against the biggest injustice and largest Holocaust in history.
The question is, why didn't she press charges? Why didn't you press charges? You were arrested for trespassing. You were trespassing and not because you were protesting, no. So this is a video that she's referring to where she was lifted up by the farmer. Let's watch, guys.
Am I doing it now? Oh, Ellie's on the phone. I have to do it now, I think. These gentle and innocent beings are going to be brutally murdered and shot in the head. They're just as gentle and loving as our beloved dogs and cats. And you are viewing.
Whoa.
Get your hands off it now. Get your hands off it.
Oh, man.
Just like us!
Farmers are serious people, guys, so whatever you do, try to stay out of their way. I mean, don't stand in their way of business. These are serious people. You see how the man lifted her. I see why she complained. Oh, man.
Not going to do it. The best impact you could have is die. One less person. Do you not want to die for the planet?
Not really, no.
I don't like vegans very much. I don't think any of you look very healthy.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, I think you all look pretty unhealthy to me.
What are the most powerful arguments for veganism?
I think there's a number, antibiotic resistance, so reducing antibiotics in our food chain, trying to prevent infectious
Because when you
diseases.
eat a cow that's been injected with antibiotics, you're eating antibiotics.
Not necessarily.
To shoot innocent animals that have beating hearts that run from you simply because they want to live. They're not armed with copper bullets or lead bullets.
I think you're not really asking a question, you're making a point, but I'm going to answer like a question. I would say that if you look at the grand spectrum of species on this planet, you treat humans like a species, we're one. You'll not find many that don't prey on other kinds. On this continent alone, people hunted for 15,000 years, notwithstanding the last couple hundred years. So to not hunt is in some way off the mark. To not hunt is a fairly new experiment in a human sense. To ask a wolf not to hunt anymore is an impossible question. So if someone comes to me and says that they don't want human hunting, we don't want to hunt, I kind of am like, coming from what perspective? I admire the deer, but I admire the idea of deer more than the individual deer. And I can assure you that I know more about deer than you ever will. And I've learned that through hunting for them. And I probably care about them in a way that's deeper than something you're going to experience from having a removed perspective on it. Like all predatory animals with canine teeth, we eat meat.
All animal industries, including the meat, dairy and egg industries, leather, wool, fur, feather, scales, they're all inherently abusive. Just
You've
human
never
food
visited
consumption.
my place.
How do you know?
Because if you had, you'd know that you're talking a load of...
And what animals do you farm? What is your industry?
I run a goat dairy. For a start, we don't... our animals.
Yes, you use euphemisms such as artificial insemination, which
I
is
don't
great.
use artificial insemination. I run my bucks with my herd. My bucks get the girls when the girls are in season, and only then. And it's their choice, nature's choice. We allow our kids to stay on their mother. We only take the excess milk. So you're talking a lot.
You are abusing your animals.
No,
That's
I'm
what
not.
you do. Yes.
Let me ask
You're
you
making
something.
profit
If
from
I'm
them.
abusing my animals, why is it that I can walk out in the paddock, I can call them by name, and every single one of my animals come up and want to rub their faces on me? If I'm abusing them, why are they so friendly to me?
Gotcha. Busy vegans, they're eating just bowls of pasta and,
Guys, farmers are serious people. It takes a lot for them to do what they do. It takes a lot for them to do what they do, and you gotta respect what they do. And now you see this woman, because she's a protester against, she's a vegan protester, so she's always coming across these farmers, and you see why, they see that she doesn't make a lot of sense. So most of the arguments, these farmers are just brushing them off like, yo, it don't make sense. You've never been to my farm. If you did, you wouldn't be saying what you're saying right now.